Assalamu alaikum. How are you, dear students? I hope you are fine. Today we are going to start the reading selection on point 3 of the unit 1, first attempts and challenges. And the topic of today's lesson, there is a poem actually, is September, the first day of school. It has been written by Howard Namrov. Before going to start the poem, I would like to explain this part of the chart that is important in order to get now about a poem. Look at these terminologies. Here is a word stanza type. Stanza is basically a number of lines that makes a unit of verses in a poem. If a stanza carries 2 lines, the stanza type would be couplet. If 3, tercets. If 4, quatrains. If 5, quintets. If 6, sextets. And if a stanza has 8 lines, not 7, 8 lines, that will be octave. And if a stanza is irregular and unrhymed, having no proper division of lines, etc. and etc., that would be strophe. And if we talk about the speaker, a speaker of a poem may be the poet himself, man or woman, mother, father, young, old, boy, girl, son, daughter. And the speaker may be non-humans like animals, wild, domestic plants, etc. and etc. If they have been personified, right? And these are sounds, we are not going to talk about those, right? So look at this stanza, this poem. You see there is no division of, as far as this page is concerned, this poem is concerned, there is no division, proper division of lines, and there is no rhyme scheme, you see. So this is what we call a strophe. This poem is actually a strophe having unrhymed and irregular pattern of lines, right? Dear students, just have a look at the poet. Who is the poet? Listen, Howard Namrov. Let's have a little introduction of this man. The author of the poem September, the first day of school, Howard Namrov, was born in New York City in 1920. He was educated at Harvard, one of the prestigious universities in the world. He taught in several universities including Bennington College from 1948 to 1966. He joined Washington University in 1969. Namrov has published 3 novels and a critical book, named Figures of Thought, in 1978. He won the Pulitzer Prize in 1977. Pulitzer Prize, what is it? Pulitzer is basically a newspaper publisher. Pulitzer was a newspaper publisher in United States, and he founded this prize. So it is considered to be one of the famous prizes. So he won the Pulitzer Prize in 1977. As far as this poem is concerned, in this poem, a father takes his son to school for the first time and leaves him at the door. The father thinks about all the things that his son might experience at school. It describes the complex feelings of a father who is taking his son to school. It reminds him, okay, of his first day at school. When he leaves his son, okay, at the door, it reminds him about, okay, his first day at school when he was at the same age, okay, of his son, and the way he had been left at the door by his parents, etc. and etc. He is worried about this leaving him alone, okay, but at the same time he hopes for a great kindness coming of it in the end, only if the child finds father-like figures or teachers among his faculties. Okay, let's see how the poem develops, right? Okay, listen to the poem. My child and I hold hands on the way to school. And when I leave him at the first grade door, he cries a little, but is brave, he does. Right? In these lines, the poet narrates his fatherly, okay, sentiments, emotions, okay, when he leaves his son at the first grade door. Okay, first grade because it was his son's first day at school. Okay, so he leaves him at the door of nursery class, you can say, or class 1. What happens then? He cries a little, but is brave, he does. It means his son cries a little on separation from his father. He cries because it is the first day at school and he might be worried about, okay, the circumstances he was going to face. I cried before that door a life ago. It reminds him about his past experience when he was a child of his son's age and he was left at the same door by his parents. So this situation, this scenario reminds him about his past. I may have had a hard time letting go, what every child also endures alone. Oh, I think I have left this line. Okay, let's repeat. He cries a little but is brave, he does. Let go. My selfish tears remind me how I cried before that door a life ago. I may have had a hard time letting go. Right? It means the poet and his son were going hand in hand towards the school. On the first day of the new session, as they reach the school gate, the poet, the writer, leaves his son's hand. He leaves his son at the door of first grade or class 1. His son cries a little on this separation from his father. He cries because it is his first day at school. Okay, and he might be worried about the unpretentious situations he was going to face. The child is brave enough that he lets his father's hand Okay, this is what the writer wants to say. Let go. Okay, he was brave. Why? Because he let it his father's separate, right, and enters into the classroom. Seeing that spectacle, seeing that sight, the poet recalls how he wept, how he cried, okay, at that gate when his father was leaving him, when he was left by his father. Okay, this all, okay, going on situation reminds him about his past. Though the poet is worried about his son because he is new, okay, to him, but at the same time he, right, hopes that his son might find, okay, their father-like figure among his teachers. Okay, each fall the children must endure together. This is what every child, okay, has to bear. Endure means to bear, to tolerate together. What every child also endure alone. Learning the alphabet, okay, the integers, 3 dozen bits and pieces of a stuff, okay, so arbitrary, so primitive, that world's invisible and visible bow down before it as in Joseph's dream. Alphabets means letter of alphabets, as you all know. Integers means a number that is not a fraction, a whole number, right? The number that is not in points, integers 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay, not that like 1.5, 1.3, that is not integers. They might be called decimals. Okay, and what else to be? Okay, bits and pieces, everything. Stuff means things. Arbitrary. Arbitrary means random. Okay, unpredictable or casual, right? And peremptory means, okay, high-handed, brisk, commanding, right? And the words invisible and visible. Dear students, in these lines, the poet talks about a very difficult process in which students share all the failures and achievements together in school. Okay, right? Every child has to go through the tough experiences of learning alphabets and, okay, numbers or integers. In the school, students learn the basics of language, mathematics, and other difficult things. Okay, the teachers are so commanding, so arbitrary, so random, so peremptory, so commanding. They have hands. Teachers are high-handed. They are supposed to be. Okay, so in schools they have to bear all that, and all the students are compelled to obey them, bow down before it. They have to follow the strict, tough routines of the school. They have to bow their heads before their teachers' imperatives. Are you getting my points? And they have to learn about the real and imaginary, abstract and concrete, visible and invisible, seen and unseen things of the world. Okay, as you might have been experiences, okay, since you are beginning, that you are to learn things that are concrete, that you can see, and also you listen to, or you have to learn about things that is abstract. Okay, in mathematics, trigonometry is, you can say, is a kind of knowledge that is abstract. Algebra is abstract. Okay, you have to talk about, you have to listen about things that is visible and invisible. In these lines, the writer basically wants to say that every student has to pass through the tough routine of the school. They have to follow, they have to obey their teachers. Okay, while learning the alphabets, numbers, etc. and etc. Right? They have to learn everything, okay, about different stuffs, different things. Right? In a nutshell, you can say that they have to endure, they have to bear, they have to tolerate mental and physical punishments as well. Sometimes children fail and sometimes they succeed, and they have to face the consequences, whatever is. Okay? And here is a line, as in Joseph's dream. Now the poet recalls the biblical story of Joseph, Hazrat Joseph, who has a dream in which sheep and stars bow down to him. Okay, so this incident of Joseph's, the messenger of Allah, when recalls, gives him the courage, it gives him the hope. Okay, how the Prophet Joseph had to face the trials, had to face the tribulation put it upon him by his brothers, throwing into the well, okay, and being sold in the market, bazaar. Okay, he had to face extreme tribulations from that well. Okay, to the greatest status bestowed by the gracious. So this gives him the hope. Have you got my points? So thank you. I think it is enough for today, and the rest will be delivered about or carried on in the next lecture.